teachers love when I tell this story. I was really bored in class, and I started a narrative drama in the back of my notebook. It was great. It kept me occupied. It looked like I was diligently taking notes. When I list practice novels, I don't include that one because it ran on for years and years and generations. And it was sort of part fantasy, part soap opera, all horrible. But that was where the addiction began. My undergraduate degrees are in English literature, the study and analysis thereof, not the creation, and psychology. So I had a double major, neither of which I was sure I wanted to pursue at the graduate level. And that was when I took some time off and found a work program that Work Exchange gave me a 6-month work permit. And it was during that time when I was working in a bookstore in London that I'm still writing in notebooks, and I realized this is the only thing I absolutely love to do that sort of resembles work. I was young and naive enough that it never occurred to me how difficult it could be. When my permit ran out, I traveled around for a while and then returned home and lived with my parents for a little while where I found a day job and started getting income. And when I interviewed for this job, they wanted a 3-year commitment. And I said to them, hold off now. See, I'm writing a book. And I'm happy to make a 1-year commitment, but I'm really going to try and sell this thing, so I don't think I can give you 3 years. I worked there for about 14 years. I love putting little, I think of them as sort of signposts in the mist, nods to the real history or real culture I'm drawing on. And I always get a kick out of it when readers find them and tell me with great surprise, as though I hadn't thought of this, that La Serenissima is in fact a nickname for Venice. And did I know that? And did I know that the religion in Kushil's avatar is almost like inverted Zoroastrianism? I'm like, yeah, that was deliberate. It's something of an ongoing process, sort of a log rolling, where the story concept comes first, but once I start doing the research, I'll find things that feed into it and help inform it, help the story take shape. And then I am also I consider research sort of an ongoing process. So if I run across a title that sounds intriguing, or there's an exhibition at a gallery that sounds intriguing, or just last year when I was in Seattle, I finally got to the Seattle Art Museum, and looking at some of the exhibitions there, I was like, oh, I've never done anything with masks, and that's still in the back of my mind somewhere. I haven't done anything with them yet, but it was a little, I think a visceral kind of shock went through me the first time I saw one. And I remember saying after it had sold, somebody's going to do it, somebody, somewhere. I never imagined there would be so many somebodies, but I also know, largely because of what various readers have shared with me, that the reasons are intensely personal for them and different. And it has nothing to do with Jacqueline Carey, the author. It has to do with a connection they've made to something that really resonated for them in the books, with the character, with the symbolism that can read on different levels. Every now and then you get somebody who's like, I just liked the design. But for most it's a personal and private symbolism. I've always said no two people read the same book. It's tough, and I had reached the point where I knew when I began writing Kushil's Dart, I had taken a huge creative risk. With every rejection, I always, by the time I got it, I was working on something else during those 10 years. So I could say to myself, okay, that wasn't the one. This is the one. And eventually it was. But I will say I did also know, after 10 years and writing this, that if it's not this one, it's not happening.
What gets you through those 10 years besides always having the next one? Anything, or is that just it?
Dumb, stubborn persistence. You know, sort of if you keep banging your head against the wall, eventually one or the other's going to break.